Hi, everyone. This is Grandma's Only. And of course, you're all invited. But it's all about wisdom that we gather through the years. And so, grandmas are a wealth of wisdom. And what is it we want to leave to our children or our children's children, our grandchildren? We want to leave them a legacy that far, far surpasses any a bank inheritance that they might get or a property. We want to give them inheritance and a legacy that will help them live a wonderful life, that they will have an inner peace in every circumstance of life, that their inner peace will far surpass any fear that ever arises to them. This, to me, is so important. If you look around and check with your children today, even grown children, and if you listen, you'll hear a variety of fears, frustrations, and even anger. Some of it is going to be a level that just the culture, politics, of course, religion, and some of it will be interpersonal and relational. But when all of these things are happening, we have a deep well of wisdom that can speak to it. Well, what would we say? Well, first of all, I would say that all these very large frustrations that we see others, and sometimes we've had in the past, or these fears, or these angers, ultimately come back to us. Somewhere along the line in our history, something has angered, frustrated, worried, scared us. And we have responded a certain way. And that way is the way we are still responding today, even without thinking. We think we're thinking, and we're really not thinking. It's just an automatic response. What is an automatic response? Well, I'm sure you know. Your heart beats, your blood pumps, there's digestion going on, and every one of our organs is performing basically as it should, with a few assumptions here, because some of it may not be true for some of you. I don't know. But let's just say that it is, and all is well. We're not sitting around thinking about when we should breathe or when our heart should beat or how to get our blood pressure up or down. No, this is an automatic response that our body is taking orders from the subconscious part of our mind, which runs all this automatic program. So if we've lived long enough, as grandmas have, oftentimes we have had our own epiphany about this. And it may not have come through energy science or some online thing. It just might have come very naturally through a set of circumstances to a place where you said, whoa, this isn't as it appears. So we gain wisdom and we begin to understand that our past has a great influence on our now, but it doesn't have to. So when we see our children and our grandchildren and they're responding in negative, fearful, angry ways, we can know of a surety that somewhere as a child or a pre-child, somewhere they have been offended in some way. In other words, this has been modeled to them, and all they're doing is they're responding and reacting on an automatic pilot because their subconscious remembered exactly how they responded the first time, and it is the program that's running, and they're still responding that way. Now, as a grandmother myself, I I want all that I can do. So there's two ways that I handle this. So I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, these are my oils. And these oils are the emotional oils, the oils for your emotional well-being. And so I start with those because these are very, very natural, and they're very safe, and they are very powerful because basically what they do is they do change your chemistry. Now, there's been scientific pictures taken of what happens when you take the lid off of one of these oils. Let me grab one of these oils here. And you take the lid off and you smell it. All right, already, before I even got it up to my nose, my brain changed color. This has been a blend called Forgive. And I think we talked about this one once before, but Forgive is a very powerful oil made up of a variety of other oils. So let's just read what is in here so that you know what we're talking about here. And I know it has bergamot in it, and I'm having trouble finding where it's at. There it is. So we have the coconut oil, of course, and we have a leaf oil. They call it Tanga leaf oil, which is only used in the blends at this time. And then they have a juniper berry, and they have myrrh. Myrrh is such a powerful, wonderful oil, and it's so good. Cypress and neroli. And these oils that are in Forgive literally change the way my brain will light up. It will go completely bluish green because the brain goes into a different brainwave. We go into a very more quiet brainwave. And so that's very important. We go into what they call a theta brainwave. Because in theta brainwave, you can reprogram the subconscious. There's a little gap in the synapses of our nerves. They just separate for a short while, and we have an opportunity to reprogram the message. Well, that's my first line. This is where I start. I start with the essential oils, and maybe this is all I do. I find myself a nice quiet place, and I smell. I can put it on, and that's all there is to it. And then the second thing I do is I've learned prayer and meditation. So this could be your legacy to your children and to your children's children. Leave them the essential oils. Let them know they are a gift. And leave them the practice of being still before God, being quiet in prayer and in meditation, reprogramming things that needed to change. So prayer is the asking portion where we could ask God. It says, ask anything, you will. And so we bring ourselves into a quietness and we ask. And then as we enter into meditation, one of these days I'm just going to do a little meditation on here so we can all do it together. But I do have a podcast where I guide people through meditation. You can find many of them on YouTube, and I'll put that in some notes for this program. And also, I included on Sacred Silence Facebook group. It's all about meditation. And so you would do some breathing because the breathing it oxygenates our entire body and it slows it down. And it just simply allows us to dwell in a slower brainwave and a theta brainwave. And as we rest in this is a biological place, but it is a very sacred spiritual reality. And as we rest in that place, we can just say we want all the programs running to agree with love and joy and peace. Teach your children that when you enter into this place of you just want every program running, you just want every thought and memory in your brain to agree with love and joy and peace. Then to sit in this quiet place, in your quietness, breathing in and experiencing that peace, experiencing great joy. Just let it come. Even if you see it coming as rain, or in Chinese medicine, they see it as a ball, and they take the ball and they just bring it in. I mean, just reach out, envision the ball, and bring it in. You might say, that's silly. What is that? I mean, you're just pretending. Well, let me tell you something about your brain. If I don't have one here, but if I had a nice big red juicy apple and I offered it to you and you're looking at this apple and you took it and you took a big bite of it, it would just be so sweet and juicy, and you get your saliva glands start to go and your stomach will even gurgle a little bit because it's really good. You have a physical response to the apple. But I can also throw a picture up on a screen, which is what advertisements are all about. I can throw a picture on the screen of an apple, and a really good, beautiful picture in HD in clarity, and show it being cut open or bit open and the juices, and your body will respond in like manner as if you were holding the apple and biting it yourself. This is what popcorn commercials at the theater are all about, and Coke commercials that you see. They're really causing your body to have a response. And whereas 5 minutes earlier, you weren't even thinking about Coke or popcorn, but now your whole body's telling you really need it, right? Well, why is that? Because your brain works off of images. So if you can imagine something, it is as if it were real. Your brain doesn't know whether this is true or false. It just sees the picture. And so when you're sitting there and you've said to yourself, you want all your memories to be based in love and joy and peace. And then you begin to experience that and use your imagination to see yourself being happy and full of joy. What would make you happy and full of joy? Sometimes we can actually use a metaphor. For instance, I've heard people that say, oh, we like to go to the ocean. Well, then see those waves rolling in as the blessing. There's your love. There's your joy. There's your peace. See yourself sitting on that rock. See those waves rolling in. And metaphorically say all those beautiful waves that never stop, they just continue to roll, one after the other. That's my joy. That's my peace. That's it. And just set your mind on it. That's what meditation means. Thinking about your thinking. So in the prayer portion, we kind of decide what it is we want. And we ask God for that. But in the meditation portion, we receive it. The circumstances we create in our own mind, our own imagination, has nothing to do with what's going on in the real world. We imagine it. Now, this is something you can pass on to your children. You can teach them the art of meditation, and they can learn prayer, and they can use essential oils. And by the way, this will get them through so many difficulties in life where other people who don't know the way, have no idea what to do or how to do it, running around like chickens with their heads cut off. But in peace and rest and quietness. You will discover your path, the way to go, and it will all be very much just for you, the individual, the path that is your path. So, I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope you put your oils on. And if you don't know, check out my notes so that you can find yourself a good practice of meditation and couple it with prayer and using the essential oils to facilitate us getting into this quiet, wonderful place. Until another time, I'm so glad you were here. Grandma Sue says bye.